Hi, and welcome to another episode of All Things Considered. I originally wanted to do a video about another subject, but then I got a message from someone that I had posted a response to on Facebook. It was about a particular country group playing at a fair, and they were angry at the fact that the fair was going to have the band there. Instead of enjoying their music, they were going to be upset because the name of the band was called Confederate Railroad. And within that title, they used the Confederate flag as part of their moniker. So a lot of people got upset with that. And I wrote this person on her Facebook page, and she never bothered to even listen to the group or look up any information on the group, their background or heritage, to find out if they were hateful or not. They just assumed that because the name was Confederate Railroad, that they had a Confederate flag, that they were racist and hateful. And so I wrote her and I said, well, then I guess you're down with the American flag. Because the Confederate flag only became, the southern states only started using the Confederate flag during the Civil War. What people do with that flag doesn't make the flag in itself bad. Just like Muslims, there are some terrorists that claim to be Muslim. They claim to be doing Allah's will. They blow up things. Does that mean that all Muslims are bad? No, it does not. Does that mean that Islam is bad? No, it does not. Although I do not agree with Islam, I am a Christian. I do not believe that Islam or a person being Muslim is bad. Yes, people do bad things in the name of, just like people take the Confederate flag and they do bad things in the name of. That doesn't necessarily mean that the flag or the people that like the flag are bad people. That just means that some people have taken that flag and they have used it for bad purposes. The American flag has been flown for more than 100 years prior to the Civil War, and loads of atrocities have happened. Slavery was bought and sold freely under the American flag. Deaths were condoned under the American flag. Wars were condoned under the American flag. Lynchings were condoned under the American flag. The United States government condoned all that. There was presidents that owned and traded slaves. Whether they treated them good or not is another story. It doesn't matter. Slavery is horrible and it is bad. Death is horrible and bad, although it is a fact of life. That does not make it right. This lady, which I am not going to give the name of, because I respect her opinion. I do. So she and I were writing, and she said that she thought I was trying to debate her. She said, well, why don't you debate the KKK? She's got herself in a one-track mind here. Whereas she sees only the hate, she sees nothing else but that. She's tunnel visioned, and that's fine. That's her opinion, and she has the right to that. And I will protect her right to have her opinion under the Constitution of the United States. I firmly believe that our rights are very sacred. Just because my opinion is different than hers, that doesn't make her opinion wrong. Now, if she talks about facts and she brings up historical things that are not historically correct, or the facts as she sees it and the facts are not correct, I will call her on that, just the same as if I was to say something or bring up something that wasn't fact, but I thought it was and she knew it wasn't, she could call me on it too. Anybody can do that, and that's how you learn. That's how you do things. So getting back to this Confederate Railroad deal, The country band has been around for a while. I personally do not care for their music. I think it is generic country music, but they've been around since the 80s, and they picked their name because they thought it was cool. And if you think of it, if you don't look at the racism or anything of that nature, if you think of the name Confederate Railroad, that is kind of a cool name, Confederate Railroad. Just like the Crosstown, Mississippi, or whatever they could probably come up with. But to have a Confederate flag, if you look at the flag just as a flag, aesthetically it is pleasing as far as the looks. But whenever you drag all of the hatred that has been attributed to it into it, it's not a really good looking flag. Now, if you also look at the American flag, and if you understand the American flag and the symbolism behind it, you wouldn't like the American flag either, because the red represents blood, the white represents the white America, and the stars represent the America and the white America, and the blue represents the cloak of darkness, or the sea of darkness, that the white folks had destroyed anything that wasn't white. Now, I'm not saying everybody's like that. There's a lot of awfully nice white folks out there, and there's an awful lot of really bad folks out there. There's an awful lot of really good folks out there. So you can't get people to see another side when they are entrenched in their tunnel vision. And when you have people that are in their own views, it's very difficult to get people to see a different side of things. So having said that, I'm going to let you go on that note. If you have any thoughts on what I was speaking of, please put a like, or please put a comment down below. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. If you think I can do something better, please put a comment, let me know. This is Us Productions, you and I. We're all in this together. Anyway, this has been another episode of All Things Considered. Have a good day. America and all points beyond.